States, both of them.
Get into my group. Maybe these days I'm going to record on my Facebook page. With the ULA opportunity, the 1B7, one of my ambassadors has a great story. And we were supposed to go live on Wednesday at 1 so she can share like her story. It was so cool. But it had to do with the ULA, the finance ULA.
That's awesome.
Here we go. Take my glasses off so I can't see. Yeah, the 1B7 is going to be so awesome. It's going to change so many lives. I'm so excited about it.
Yes, I agree.
I don't. Feature Friday. Yeah, it's all feature. With Angela Orr. Come hang out. I'm just going to tag a couple people. Good. No, it's not letting me tag anybody. Okay. We'll do this. On that.
This is a streaming live now.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Feature Friday. Lisa Drennan here with Angela Orr, fellow coach, fellow certified ULA life coach. She has a heart for coaching. It's amazing. And when you hear her story, you're going to know why I emphasize the word heart. So welcome, Angela. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be on Feature Friday. Introduce yourself. Tell us some details, some juicy details about you.
Okay, well, I won't get too juicy, but so thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate you having me on today as a guest. Lisa and I have done some other interviews in the past, and she's going to be coming into my group also. So it's just really great to connect with other heart-centered leaders, isn't it? So my story, I am a certified life coach through ULA. I'm a certified heart math practitioner, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And I'm a pharmacist of 36 years. So I know I don't look it, but I have been in the pharmacy industry actually 41 years. And because I started when I was in high school. And I am a serial entrepreneur. So I've had different businesses, including owning 2 of my own pharmacies. I sold my last pharmacy several years ago, went to work for the company that purchased us. We're in a small town in southern Maine. That's where I currently reside. And at that time, it was just so difficult at being a brick and mortar business. And the other thing is that I've just seen so many changes in healthcare, and I don't really think of it, unfortunately, anymore as healthcare. I think of it as sick care, because we don't really keep people well. We just treat sick people. And so I really started to shift my focus when I had a diagnosis of breast cancer several years ago. I'm a breast cancer victor now. That I was like, I have to, yes, yay. So I really thought about my journey and my health. I mean, here was I looked like I had everything, and yet I was obese. I had breast cancer. I was stressed out to the max. And so I thought I have to do things different. So I started changing my life and really looking into self-development, other modalities besides pills, because I did not want to take any pills, and I don't. I actually am on no medications. And because I've got my A1C down, my stress and anxiety are low. And I thought, this is what I should be offering to other people, not just pills. I feel like we throw pills at people, and I want to be the pillless pharmacist. So back in 2021 or 2020 last year, I feel like I've always been a coach, being a pharmacist and working in community pharmacy for most of those years. But I looked at different ways to expand that coaching, and I thought about going to the Integrative Institute for Health or Natural Medicine, or being a functional medicine pharmacist. But I really, again, did not want to focus necessarily on pills or diet or this, that, although those are important at times. but it really was mindset. And to me, is thinking about what you think about. And so I decided to focus on that. And I found ULA, and I just love ULA because I feel like it's just such a great framework. And then I
It
found
is.
Heart Math, and Heart Math I actually found before ULA, but I really like the combination of the two. And Heart Math is an organization in Northern California that teaches and believes in heart-mind coherence. There's a lot of science behind it, and I don't want to take too much because I could go on, but it really is all about healing at an epigenetic level. So what I mean by that is that it's not the genes that always cause disease, but it's the switching of genes on and off. And how you do that very simply is through the environment, which would be exercise, water, food. And the biggest thing is your thoughts or your perception of reality, which can lead to stress and anxiety. And therefore, um, it increases the cortisol in your body and it increases inflammation. So when people say it starts in your mind, it really truly does. So I hope that that wasn't too long, but
Oh, I love it. I could listen to that for hours. It's so fascinating. And I love the pillless pharmacist. That's cool.
the
I
pill.
too am off all of my medications. I was on 12 of them, and just with the modalities I've implemented, I was off. And I've had bronchial asthma since I was 2 years old. And I just remember like choking and coughing up a lung. I did a live the other day about it. So it's really interesting how you thought about, I like that heart thing. What did you call it?
The heart mind coherence.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about that. That's fascinating to me.
So the heart mind coherence, so with the Heart Math organization in California, it was started several decades ago. And we actually have almost over 400 published studies now that actually show when your heart is out of coherence, it's out of coherence with your mind and out of coherence with your body. And what I mean by that of being out of coherence is that on a scientific level, your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system are at odds. So you're usually always that fight or flight. So you're like running and you're busy and you're doing things and oh my God, and you get overwhelmed. And, that's society today, right? But we're all about taking time, and it can be as little as 5 or 15 minutes to really focus on heart-centered breathing. And there's special techniques, and there's actually technology that you can use, that you clip something on your ear, you pair it up, you turn on, you pair it up with an app on your phone, and it can measure your heart rate variability. And what the studies have shown is the more you can have your heart in coherence, which means to have a steady, even uh, timing between the beats. So it's not a medical thing per se, like you would go to the doctor for. This is really more about the energy of it. So the more that it's in it's more of a systematic beat, the more that you're in coherence with your mind, and you can basically get out of the past or the future and get into the now, because it's really only in the ever present moment that you can make decisions, have clarity, more energy, you can sleep better. Um, and so the techniques that I teach, you can do them in as little as 15 to 20 minutes a day with a 15 to 20-minute session, because you can break those up. And then, you can do like a 15-minute session each week to add to that. And the more consistent you do that, the more you can increase your baseline for coherence.
Wow, that is so fascinating. Yeah, I never knew that. That is so very cool. How did you get into all of this? Like, I mean, you're obviously passionate about it, and you can see your heart, your face just lights up. And as you said, you can talk about it for hours. So what made you get into this particular field?
I really liked, so I really had never meditated before. And as I was looking at other modalities, as I said, to really heal myself, I knew that my mindset really mattered. And so I started watching different things, and I knew that pills weren't always the answer. So on YouTube, I started following Joe Dispenza. And then
Yeah.
because of following him, I ended up following Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton. And I love Bruce Lipton. I mean, I love Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden also, but these three people are kind of in the same area. Plus now I'm listening to many other ones, but I still kind of, they're my base. But Bruce Lipton talks about the biology of belief. And what he talks about is you can, and Joe Dispenza does also, and they talked about, as well as Greg Braden, the heart-mind coherence, because that's what Joe Dispenza talks a lot about too. But I heard through one of them about heart math, so I looked them up, started following them, and then ended up getting the device to help myself, and then thought, why, I'm going to become a certified practitioner with them, and did the training, and now that's what I specialize in. And the the heart mind, listening to and listening to Bruce Lipton, he actually has a book called The Biology of Belief, and it really goes into detail about how a lot of our biology, and therefore, like I was saying about the chemical reactions in your brain, really are based on your perception, and therefore your interpretation of what is happening, and how you can trace that back and actually see it. And Joe Dispenza does that. They actually map out your brain, and they will watch your, and I'm sure you probably have heard of, the neural connections or neuroplasticity. And
Yeah,
what
I've heard of
that means,
that.
is neuroplasticity. People used to think, so I used to think I was born a warrior. My mother was a warrior. My grandmother was a warrior. That's my genes. That's how I am. But that's not true. Our beliefs have to be challenged. Our beliefs have to be questioned. And what is true is that that is not something that I'm born with. That's something that I was conditioned to believe. And that was behavior that I modeled because that's what I saw. And I can change that if I want to. It's not easy. That's why a lot of people may not have heard about it or do it, because it does take work on a consistent daily basis, but it's worth it.
That I find that so fascinating. So yeah, I've been doing some different courses on the neuroplasticity of the brain, and like, because mindset's my thing, but I focus on self-sabotage and fear. But it's incredible. Like this morning, I was thinking about my thoughts and thinking about my thoughts, and they were really like, there's a lot of negative energy around me. And, that really plays a huge influence on us. And you almost start to receive that energy yourself, and then you can feel your body responding to it. So that's so incredible. Wow. So what do you offer? What do you, in your, like, you have coaching, you have one-to-one group coaching, like what is your how do you facilitate this amazing program that you have?
So I have a group where I have a free group where people can join called Healing Hearts, and we can put the link in the description if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I have a group where I have people and I teach different meditations. So right now I'm starting, actually I'm going to do a live tonight on the dash. The dash in your,
the
between
date of
your,
birth and date of death.
and then the dash, and the dash is small but mighty, and how you're not predestined for anything. So I'm going to do a series of videos in there on that. But I also have a meditation there and different things. So I offer that. I offer group coaching sessions, which I started recently. I've already got my group together for this session, but I'm also working on launching a course, and I'm launching, and I do one-on-one. Also, if people are, I use the ULA framework, which Lisa, I'm sure, has talked about. Lisa's a fabulous ULA coach herself and offers so much. Our specialties are different. So that's nice that she had me on here, because it's not about, oh, it's only I can do that. We all know that we have our areas of genius. So she has hers and I have mine. So I offer the ULA coaching with some of my own private coaching added in there. And then I'm having my first retreat this October in Maine, in person in Maine. And it's for 3 days. And it's going to, the name of it is The Magnificent You, Time to Meet Her Again.
Oh, I love it. I love
Isn't that
that.
awesome? I love that.
That is so awesome. That is so beautiful.
Thank you. So those are the things that I offer right now.
Awesome. Well, we will get the links down in the description. And this video is going to live in the guide section. So be sure you tag somebody if you're here joining us live. I see Angela, I think it's Newhouse. You guys know I don't have my glasses on. So Angela Newhouse, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us live. So tag somebody you know that needs it. If you know somebody outside of the group, invite them in and tag them so they can hear Angela's great coaching practice and get to know her and join her Facebook group. And you guys, it's all about collaborating. I mean, we each have our own soulmate client. So I love this Feature Friday. I love collaborating with my fellow coaches and entrepreneurs and letting you know that their services are available. I'm not going to be able to serve everyone, but I know my soulmate clients are going to come to me, and there's soulmate clients in here for Angela. And you guys, if this speaks to your heart, you definitely got to connect with Angela and find out more about her coaching program, her courses. And of course, we're both ULA ambassadors. And if you don't know about the 1B7, you need to connect with either one of us, whoever resonates with you, and get on our team as ambassadors, because we are changing the world. We are transforming lives with purpose. We're going to help people live differently, and it is epic. And we want to offer the opportunity to whoever wants it. And you know me, you don't miss out on an opportunity without collecting the facts. That's when you make your decision, after you get the facts. Don't say no until you hear the facts. And be sure to check out, Angela will put your Facebook group, your website in the remarks.
We'll put the Facebook group for now, and then my, because that's where I'm doing everything. Actually my website is in redevelopment.
Okay, so just the Facebook group.
So the Facebook group and stuff. But if I can just take 2 minutes to just teach something very quick and simple. So
love it.
If you're ever in a situation where you are feeling overwhelmed or stressed, again, usually you're living in the past, you're living in the future, you're not living in the moment. And you're like, okay, well, yeah, what does that mean? So I invite you to, so I'm going to take you through just a really quick exercise, one that I teach in more detail, but I'll just teach it very quick here. So basically what you can do is, if you can just stop, and if you can get into a comfortable position, even sometimes when you're at work, because sometimes I work still as a pharmacist, part-time, working towards full-time coaching. But what I do, even if people are around, is really about stopping in the moment and taking some deep breaths. It's amazing because, again, scientifically, it's shown that taking deep breaths can disconnect that negative, that parasympathetic. So I invite you to just sit for a minute, take in a breath. If thoughts come through your mind, that's okay, let them pass. And then if you can, if you're in a situation, even if you can't, inconspicuously, just put your hand over your heart area. And as you breathe in, just think about the breath coming in that is full of light, lightness, shining bright light. And as it comes in, it swirls around your heart. See it actually swirling in your chest. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out anything that's dark or heavy or does not serve you. So if you can do this just for a few minutes, it can really help to reground you and bring you back to a place out of that anxiety or stress, and it can help to clear some space so you have a little bit more clarity in that moment to make a decision as to what you do next. So you just do that for a few moments or a few minutes. And again, it's that bright, shining, I like to think of like the shining, glistening on the water, that type of shining coming in, and it swirls around, and see it physically taking out anything dark, heavy, anything that does not serve you. You're releasing it in that breath. And as you come back to be with us, just think about how good that felt and how you deserve those few minutes for
Mhm.
yourself to ground, and how if you did something as simple as that on a consistent basis, you actually start to increase that baseline of coherence.
Wow. Just a few moments of centering. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. You're quite
Thank
welcome.
you for, yeah, and thank you for being here. And for those who are joining us live, thank you for taking the time to hop on live. And if you're watching on the replay, just do #replay. And again, be sure to reach out. Have an amazing weekend.